The Genius of Pelé, a reflection on how football became art. Pelé, the Brazilian football legend, is widely considered to be the greatest player of all time. He revolutionized the game and introduced a new level of artistry and flair that had never been seen before. Throughout his career, Pelé's genius was on full display, as he mesmerized fans with his sublime skill and instinctive talent. He was a master of ball control, a brilliant passer, and a lethal finisher. His audacious dribbling and game-changing goals made him one of the greatest athletes of all time. Pelé's genius transcended football, turning the sport into a form of art. He inspired millions around the world, and his legacy lives on in the way football is played today. Pelé's genius was not just limited to the pitch. He also used his influence to promote social and political causes. He will always be remembered as one of the greatest footballers of all time and as a true global icon. Pelé's showcase of artistry. Artistry is the ability to create or perform something in a skillful way, such as through the use of creativity or imagination. Artistic ability is a skill that is often associated with football, thanks to players such as Pelé, who brought a high level of skill and flair to the game. Before Pelé, the game was more functional than aesthetic. The focus was on using the ball to break down the opposition and score goals. Players were more interested in winning than in creating beautiful football. This changed when Pelé burst onto the scene. His audacious dribbling, silky ball control, and graceful touches breathed new life into the game. This led to a new appreciation for the aesthetic side of football and a celebration of the creativity and imagination that are inherent in the sport. Pelé's showcase of artistry helped turn football into a form of art and inspired millions around the world. Pelé's sublime skill and instinctive talent. Pelé had sublime skill and instinctive talent, which made him one of the most dazzling players of all time. On top of his dazzling skills, Pelé was a gifted goal scorer who scored a staggering 1,281 goals in 1,363 games. Pelé's sublime skills are best highlighted by his 1958 World Cup performance, where he scored 6 goals in just 3 games. His goal-scoring ability is even more impressive when you consider that the ball was made of leather at the time and was heavier than today's ball. He also had no modern technology to help him train. Pelé was an inspiration to millions of people, and his dazzling skills led people to appreciate the aesthetic side of football and celebrate the creativity and imagination inherent in the sport. Pelé's audacious dribbling and game-changing goals. Pelé's audacious dribbling was a game-changing goal-scoring technique that he used regularly throughout his career. His audacious dribbling style was marked by a fearless approach to the game. This was best highlighted in the 1958 World Cup, where he scored 4 goals and became the youngest player to win the tournament. Audacious dribbling is still a popular technique used by some of the world's top footballers, including Brazilian players such as Neymar and Felipe Coutinho. Pelé's signature move was to trap the ball on his chest and advance towards the goal. He also liked to trap the ball between his legs and then swerve past defenders. This technique was very difficult to stop and became a key part of Pelé's game. He scored many game-changing goals with this technique, including his most famous goal, the goal of the century in the 1958 World Cup final against Sweden. Pelé's legacy in the way football is played today. Pelé's legacy in the way football is played today is twofold. Firstly, his skills and talent set the standard for future generations of footballers in terms of technique and ability. Secondly, his style of play inspired a new appreciation for the aesthetic side of football. This new appreciation led to a celebration of the creativity and imagination inherent in the sport. Pelé's legacy is reflected in the modern game of football, where dribbling and passing are key components of the game. His showcase of artistry is evident in the way dribbling, passing, and shooting have become the core skills of football. Pelé's legacy has also been felt in the growing interest in the sport. Football is now played by people of all ages, both professionally and recreationally, across the globe. A global icon. Pelé is a global icon who is loved and admired by people around the world. He is widely considered to be the greatest player of all time and is admired for his skill and dominance on the pitch. His revolutionary playing style revolutionized the game and introduced a new appreciation for the aesthetic side of football. Pelé's unparalleled skills were admired by millions of football fans around the world. He was a global superstar who transcended football and became an icon of the sport. He is a true sporting legend who inspired millions of people and will always be remembered as one of the greatest footballers of all time. Apart from being a football icon, Pele is also a social and political icon. His charisma and fame have allowed him to promote various causes and speak out about important issues.